Welcome out to Studio 321. This is your host, Eddie B. So Elon Musk and Tesla, that's the future of the country, whether you like it or not, okay? I'm going to get into that in just a minute, the reasons why. However, guys, hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel if you subscribe and hit the like button. YouTube does not like conservative talk, and they will not help us spread the algorithm, so when you subscribe, it helps us spread it on our own. But anyways, guys, let's get right down to it. So obviously, I'm online all the time. I talk to tons of people, and they're always bad-mouthing Elon. Well, 50% are bad-mouthing him, 50% love him, right? Well, if you notice lately in the news, there hasn't been so much Elon Musk. He's kind of backed off. He's basically handing off Doge over to, some other folks who are going to, go ahead and start working on getting the government corruption out. So, and overspending. So he's basically going to go back to the private industry. I could see it starting to happen a while back. All these people attacking his dealerships and his vehicles and bad mouthing, but it was really hurting his product and his product name and hurting his stock. I know it was putting pressure on him. He wasn't trying to show it, but I know that it was. So I figured he was going to start trickling his way back into the private sector and kind of stay out of politics. And that's where he's headed now. But here's the thing. I talk to these people online all the time, and, they're just all a bunch of idiot crackpots. And they're all, cheering, oh, yeah, we sent Elon packing. He's going broke. His company's done for. And look, you can say all that stuff you want, and that's just fine, but nothing could be further from the truth, okay? And this is, I'm going to give you the reality, because I follow what he's doing, what his company's been doing, what the industry's doing, robotics, everything. I study and I follow it all. And so I see where it's all starting to head. So this is what's going on right now. Okay. Basically right now, the main robotics company in the United States is Tesla. Now, yes, they build cars and, they're on the cutting edge of all the EV stuff, but they're also building the first generation of humanoid robots for the American home. It's called Optimus. Also, what they're doing is they're going to be working on the first generation of military robots, okay? Which I don't know what they're going to call that. Obviously, that's going to be kept very secret. We won't know too much about those until they're walking around on the street. However, that's what he's working on right now, because what's going on is China is doing the exact same thing. Okay, there's a major robotics company in China, it's basically their equivalent to Tesla. It's called UBTech. They're doing the same thing, building humanoid robots for home use and business use. Basically something like an assistant around the house, basically like a maid. I mean, they have videos of them washing laundry, doing stuff like that, which that would be amazing. But, anyway, so we have to have something like that, okay? You can't just have a Chinese company taking the reins with all that technology, because if they do, the demand is going to be so great. If they were the only ones, it would crush us economically, because they would be selling all the robots into our country, and all the money would be going back to their country. So Tesla needs to put up the fight against them. Now, from what I've seen, they seem to be pretty even with each other. They're both building a humanoid robot, again, for business and home use, but also I know that in the background they're working on military stuff. They just don't talk about that, But that's going to be the first generation of military robotics. You're going to have field soldiers that are robots. I mean, it's the future, right? It's coming. Now, my prediction is within 5 to 10 years, the car part of Tesla, the car manufacturing part of Tesla, will be basically like their plan B. They will still make cars and EVs, but I believe they're going to move away from that when this robotics takes full effect, because they're talking about selling the units between $30 and $50,000, and it's going to be for homes. And I'm telling you, that's going to spread like wildfire. It's going to be insane when those go out. There's videos online, which I'm going to show you some, and these things are amazing. I remember 10 years ago seeing robots, and they were nothing like they have now. I mean, if you ever seen the movie I, Robot, they're just like that. Actually, they look like them too, which kind of creeps me out, because that movie was, it was one of my favorite sci-fi movies, but it was kind of a lesson learned. But anyway, so that's the direction we're heading in. So what's that going to look like in 20 years? Well, I see it as 20 years from now, I see basically 50% of the homes in the United States having a robot assistant running around the house. Because think about it, right? It's going to be able to do everything, man. And I would have 10 years ago, I wouldn't have thought so, because the robots back then were very crude and they couldn't really do a lot of stuff. But now seeing them, like, if you get another 10 years of advancement on those things, they're going to be humans. That's what they're going to be. They're going to be able to do everything, okay? They're going to be able to cook, clean. Hell, they're going to be able to help, assistants around the house with the elderly. I mean, you're talking about some serious stuff. So that's the direction Tesla's heading in. But remember, like I said, China also has UBTech, and they're heading in the exact same direction. And from what I see, they're about dead even right now, which is good, because we have to be able to push back on them. I'm sure they're happy about it, because the Chinese are going to try to push back on us. And, at least we have one of the main robotics companies around the world. Because when they start building the military stuff, then you're going to have automated battlefields. You know what I'm saying? So it can be all robotics. Now you're talking about, like, Terminator style warfare. But and trust me, it's coming 100%. But it's funny, though, because when I do talk to people online, they're always like telling me, like, "Oh, Tesla's done for, man." Like, and my response to that is this: okay, get your stocks while you can. I mean, it's expensive now, but trust me, in 10 years, 10, 15 years, that's going to be one to retire on right there. It is, because where they're going, okay, is it's completely the future. And we're going to be completely dependent on them, okay? There are other robotics companies, but you have to realize Tesla, because of their EV manufacturing, they already have the facilities. They're already working on that stuff right now, okay? They're already working on them humanoid robots right now. Now, there's some other companies that are on smaller scale doing the same thing, and a lot of them are going to be working with Tesla. But Tesla is the main one. They're going to be the one who can manufacture these robots in large scale, because they're, look, that's expensive. Tesla has the money, they have the facilities, and they have the best engineers in the world. So yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to watch. I'm kind of glad that Elon is getting back into the private side of things. He's such a savage in business that when he's focused, I don't think there's any stopping him. And then you also have this other thing where, think about it. They're working on that the automated taxi. Tesla is right now. So it's basically going to be a computerized taxi. It's going to be crazy, man. There's going to be a lot of changes coming up in the next 5 to 10 years. I'm actually glad I'm still in that age range where I'm going to get to live to see it, because it's going to be a different world in about 10 years. You got AI creeping in. You got all this automation creeping in. You got the robotics creeping in. Like, it's going to be completely different. you're going to be able to walk in your house. You're going to be able to talk to your house, and it's going to do things without, you touching a button. It's going to be automated homes, robots running around the house doing stuff for you. And it's going to be awesome. There's some downsides, obviously, like, we're already getting pretty lazy, and that's just going to make us lazier. But I mean, what are you going to do? It's just happening. But anyways, so I'm going to keep an eye on it. Just check it out when you get a chance, man. There's a lot of videos online about the robotics, and it's just amazing. It really is. It's going to be a new world in 10 years. But anyways, guys, if you like my video, please like and subscribe. This is Eddie from Studio 321. Have a good night.